welcome to this jazz guitar lesson. I'm Chris Whiteman, and thanks so much for joining me. Today I've put together a lesson I call Modernizing the 2-5-1 with 4th's, and this is an approach that's going to utilize the interval of the fourth. And this is a sound that is often associated with the late great pianist McCoy Tyner, and is generally considered to be a modern or contemporary sound in jazz. So when we use fourths in our lines, it immediately breaks us out of a scalular stepwise motion, right? So I'm playing D Dorian. And if I were to use fourths, so a very different sound, even though it's the same notes. The presentation definitely has a more of a modern sound to it. So we can use fourths to build single note lines, and we can also use fourths to build chords, right? So we can use them in our voicings. So very different than the more traditional tertian harmony approach, right? So harmony based on thirds. I mean, nothing wrong with that, it's beautiful, but this has a completely different sound. When we build voicings, stacking fourths, we call that quartal harmony, and it's modal harmony. Again, versus kind of more traditional functional harmony. So this is a brief overview of the concept. We're just scratching the surface just to introduce the sound and then give you some examples of lines and some voicings comprised of fourth intervals. And we're going to explore this in the context of a 2-5-1 in C major. So the underlying harmony is going to be D minor 7, G7 altered, and C major 7. And the scales that I'm deriving the lines from, for the D minor, I'm using D Dorian. For the G7 altered, I'm using G altered dominant, which is the seventh mode of A flat melodic minor. And then for C major, I'm using the C major scale. I have 3 examples of single note lines and 1 example using some voicings, and I'm going to play them at 160 beats per minute, and then I'm going to do them again at half speed. Okay, I hope you find this information useful. If you like this sound and you want to explore it more, I mentioned McCoy Tyner earlier. The first guitarist I heard using this was Joe DiOrio, and he actually has a great book, and it's called Intervallic Designs for Jazz Guitar, and it's full of all types of intervallic exercises and a lot of fourths. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time.